Hey, Mr. Bicker and Greg M. Okay, let's get this party started soon. Eventually. Maybe. No time for fun when we've got work to do. Let's see, get some gloves. Come on, air conditioner. Put some effort into it. That's good. Looks like a back window's blowing up the light a little bit much. It's actually not that bright. The sun's on the other side of the house, so that's just the ambient light. This shows how possibly dim it is inside here. We're not just talking about me. Hey, Mr. Stamper. Let's get the required protection on. What are you doing? Oops. You're on cruel. Why are you on swing? Okay, we don't want it on swing. Hey, Jacob Anderson. Let's see. First in the morning last night in his MacBooks. Yes, we've got lots of things to still do here. I haven't been down in this room since I left last night. So, let's see, where's my mouse? There it is. Let's see, stormy weather in Brisbane. Oh, that'd be nice. We've got pure hard blue sky here. We did get some rain last night. Well, not last night, yesterday afternoon. And that was a bit of an unusual thing. It was like a cloud got lost or something on its way to the rainforest, and it dropped its load. So we all got wet. That was a bit of a weird thing, but of course all that did was made everything humid for the afternoon when the heat builded up, and so it felt like we were in a sauna. Fortunately it wasn't as bad as it could be, but we've got that to look forward to in the future. Hey Peter, Crystal. By the way, I did find out who sent me all these Weha PL4 drivers. These are the pentalobes that you use to open up MacBooks. So I've got 2 of them spare for Australian people. I've got to work out how I'm going to distribute them. I actually don't even know what the legalities are for giving away stuff on YouTube, whether you can do anything about it, or whether they just bite you in the head when you try to do it. Okay, so a little bit of coolness. Yep, alright. Let's see, rotational hard drives, price out there, $200 for 6 terabyte. Yeah, that's probably about right around here. I haven't bought any new ones of those for a long time now. Mostly I've now just converted everybody I can over to solid state drive. Even if their drives are fine, I generally try to convert them to solid state just to get it over and done with now. It saves me a lot of time. Like, it's faster for me to move their old drive to solid state, then repair their Windows machine, than it is for me to try and deal with their spinning rust drive and not change them over. So this time saving is kind of equivalent to the profit I would otherwise make. For backups, yeah, well, see, I need to get myself a 10 or 12 terabyte. Yeah, these big let's get straight into this. These caps look funny to me. They really do. They've got see those bulges there? It's like it's had a really bad day there. It's subtle, but it's not something I'm used to seeing. Have a look on the donor board, see if it's got it. So they definitely do not have the bulges in them. Because it concerns me that those caps would have bulges in them, because that would be a serious amount of energy to do that. So do wonder. And that's let's check in some others. Yeah, none of these have that bulge, and you can just see directly looking at it. See, they're the sheen on them is flat, whereas on these you can definitely tell there's a multi-tone effect. So I think I'm definitely going to take those two middle ones out. There's something suspicious about those to me. I do need to get something like a 12 terabyte at least, or certainly no less than 10 terabyte backup system. I might just pickle the pads on those caps first. Seems like a lot of people didn't like the stream last night. I've got about a 10% thumbs down ratio, so obviously things didn't go as according to plan. Normally I'm used to around about a 1 to 3% thumbs down ratio. I mean, not that I'm overly caring, but it's just interesting that it skyrocketed to about 10 last night. I think what might have happened is YouTube actually shared it out to quite a lot of people as opposed to the normal crowd, because I had easily twice as many views as what I normally would get for that sort of video in that span of time. What I should do first here is check the resistance across those before and after. It's not low, that's the trouble. Yeah, I mean, multimeter software needs updating. Oh, look, I mean, people are just going to be rude regardless. That's just what people do. I'm more trying to understand the YouTube algorithm that led to the situation. So, I mean, 8 mega ohms, we've got nothing like a short there, but there's definitely issues with those caps. They're coming off. The bottom one's okay, but these three are certainly showing signs of issues. And the thing is, if the caps have been, yeah, look at that, straight away, puffed out and blow out. If the caps have been damaged in this respect, then their capacitance will be vastly lower than the 330 that they're supposed to have. And if they've got vastly lower resistance, then it means they're not going to, not resistance, capacitance, they're not going to do the job that they're meant to. I'll tell you what, they're certainly putting up a fight here. This is 460, 110. They're not even three-legged ones. I can hear stuff popping. Probably should remove that fourth one. It may not be damaged, but if the other ones took a hit, then it stands to reason it may also be a little upset. Hey Lewis, what are you doing here? Hey Lewis, trying to have a look at my caps? Let's see. Check it out. Three of them had this bulging. But they're not actually shorted. There we go. Time to thumbs down the video. So there's been you. Typical jerk-like move. Shouldn't you be watching Oreo? No, I really don't think that Lewis has a bromance with me. Lewis has a bromance with himself. This is really hard to do. That board just wants to suck up the heat. And I've only got the little JSO2 tip on this. And we have stuck it. Well done, Paul, well done. We'll just hot air that off rather than trying to force it. I'm pretty sure this is a 3476 board, in case you were wondering. Get rid of that bit of... Lewis, what did you do with the multimeter software? Did you... I haven't put any updates out there, so I don't know what you're complaining about. What the hell? That's not even melting? That's Chris Long's tech wick. I think I need to get myself my Goot wick. Move our tiles and what? Oh, this is embarrassing. Come on. Alright. I'm getting myself all hyped up listening to Vangelis the last night or so. And a few other things. Particularly like Vangelis, Alpha. Probably showing my age with all this sort of stuff. And of course, can't forget Jean-Michel Jarre with all his classics. Do you have hot tweezers? No, I don't. Anyway, that's going to be perfectly fine for what I want to be doing here, so... Hot tweezers require that I get myself an FF203, and... yeah, I don't like the look of those ones. Get myself a better board. But naturally... this being that particular board, I don't have many of. 3476. The Met Cal would actually have a few issues trying to get that done. Okay, we're just going to harvest these. Starting to run out of flux. Looks like someone's going to have to make an order again. Alright, looks like Mr. Annoying New Yorker has left. Now we can get back to normal work. Just gonna go maximum air. I'll know where those go. Don't worry. I don't like that popping noise I'm hearing. Hopefully they haven't been overly damaged. And I suppose the trick now is... which side was which again? Oh wait, I'll just use another donor board. Okay, positive on the right. At least I'm fairly positive of that. It's going to take a while. It should be enough solder for the job. I'm hoping that the leaded solder will make things a little easier overall. Maybe I should use Chip Quick. Bugger. Tried to get fancy there, but that obviously didn't work. Makes me wonder how some people manage to use cheaper hot air stations and get this work done. Because if the quick at maximum is having a bit of a hard time sometimes, you gotta wonder what it's like for other stations with lower outputs. Where did that last one go? It's not pretty right now, but we'll make it pretty later-ish, maybe. As soon as I can get this damn thing turned over. Well, that's bulged. Now, I'm sorry, but don't take offense, but I don't bother listening to people saying high air, lower heat or anything like that, because really it's all very dependent on the job, of the way you handle it, everything like that. I can guarantee you I will have just as many people say the opposite as whatever anyone else says. In the end, you just learn to just find the one that works for you and go with it. Like I said, it's nothing personal against people, it's just a reality of doing jobs. I've only got 3 on there at the moment, but that actually will probably be enough for me to at least test things. While I'm waiting for it to cool down, I'm just looking around the board. Fresh set of eyes, not quite so tired. I might see something. There, but the thing is, the temperature, it's a feedback loop on that. It's a PID loop. So even though you've got more air going across it, it actually puts more heat into the element in order to compensate to maintain the temperature. So your total actual BTU unit coming out of the nozzle is still kept high. Now on the other hand, if you just simply had a single watt output, as in it didn't have the regulating the feedback loop, then yes, the point would be valid. But because it has a feedback loop, I mean, it's the whole point of it. And also with these boards, you actually do need a higher volume of air to heat soak more of the board. Particularly with those particular caps that were there, because they're on the very heavy power plane, so no, still got a short we're dealing with somewhere anyway. So I guess I'm just going to have to chase that down. Mother flip, just stabbed my glove. Yeah, still taking a dive. Hey Bill. Yes, it is much nicer to work on MacBooks in that respect. Like I said, when you start fiddling around with your little iPhone components, it's like, no fun. Now, we've either got a short on a rail, as in a genuine tie resistance type short, or we have got a part that is actively shorting when we try to fire it up, such as a controller or whatever. So we will start out with just the passive short testing, and we'll go from there. We've got to go back to the rails. So bring up Flex Board View. It's probably going to knock my synchronization out. Use the multimeter. So we go to power rails. No need to scroll through the pages because we actually are smart and we use the favorites. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately we do not have a $1,000 fluorometer or infrared, so we're just going to have to deal with what we got. Sometimes life sucks. You just got to deal with what you got. Let's see, S5. I'm going to test the SO rails just in case we've got something that is holding it down as it tries to go into SO state. Okay, so it's resistor pad here, 0.38, which is the same as that. Your okay. Pretty sure we tested these last night. Yep. Did it. Three 3v3 sus. It could be 3v3 sus. Because we had damage up at that... up here. Oops. And it's not that. This is flex board view. I'm somewhat shocked that we're still in this situation where some people aren't aware of that, but yep, that's what it is. It's flex board view. So, what am I looking at now? Point 4. Nope. All good, Ruus Nossman, or whatever your name is. Bill, I'm presuming you're talking to someone else there. So FET. There is most likely a more optimal way of testing this. Like, there is probably a bunch of rails I can safely eliminate from the testing process, but I'm just going through them as a matter of being pedantic. Wait, didn't I just test that one? I swear I just tested that one. Yep, I did. There was a pin mark on that. Okie dokie, I have no idea what the hell happened there. My entire system froze, my entire internet, all the routers, everything just dropped dead. It was complete and utter loss. I think maybe someone EMP pulsed me. Okay. I have no idea what happened there. I thought it was just this computer, but then everyone else in the house was down and my computer was completely non-responsive. Alright. And now why would you denial of service me? That's so immature. So immature. It's such a brutish way of doing things, like running over people with dump trucks. Alright, well anyway, while everyone was down and out, I did happen to just probe around randomly and I came across this one here and I wasn't sure actually what it is, but 0.09, 0.1, that's pretty low. Yeah, it looks like even the multimeter software took a hike. Yep, looks like I'm going to have some fun here. Just wait a few seconds for the multimeter. Sync is off. Okay, multimeter's back. Now I've got to do the microscope camera system. Yeah, that's alive. Alright. We'll deal with the sink in a minute or so. Anyway, now I've got to find out what that particular little chap is. It's right next to the crystal. Here we go. 1272 1V05 PCH. Oh, well, that's not very nice. Oh, we really don't want that line to be down. Okay, since that's the PCH line, please don't be that. I'm going to assume that it's okay. It's just one of those, because it's a CPU type line, it's faking it. We should get a reasonable ohms value here. Yeah, 106, that's fine. Okay, let me get back to my power rails. I'm trying to think where I was. I think I was doing 3 VSO FET. Let's see, UFG100, crystal. Okay, which is this one down here. I'm not sure I'd quite call this a rabbit hole yet. We're just going through the process of picking out our rails. Oh, diode mode. Going through 3, that's okay. And then a bit below that. It's okay. SSD FET. It's fine. Somehow I think this will be exactly the same, because it's just on the other side of that same resistor. S4 Thunderbolt. Interesting how a lot of these resistors are not populated. Three, that's fine. Pretty close to the 4924, almost. I think these are just the 8GB. Oh no, that's fully populated. Just an earlier generation. Oh man, 1B35. So take your pick. That's interesting. That's actually not a perfect match for what's on the board view. That part there doesn't seem to exist on the board view. I'm fairly sure this is just sweet mercy. Now that's a pretty serious short. 0.16. That's 1V35. Oh man, that could be anything. Do we have a shorted CPU here? CPU DDR is okay, but PP1B35 is seemingly a problem. It's the S3, and that's the RAM one. So we have short on our RAM. I'm just going to check by having a look at some of the other caps up here, just to make sure that I haven't made a boo-boo. So it should be this one here. That's weird. That 114. This could be a Boardview issue, whereby even though that says it's... No. What about the other side? Yeah, I think that's a Boardview issue. Rossmann EMP. Could have been. Could have been. Hey, fixing things. Hey, Jan. We should be doing 1080 output here. We're pumping out at about 6 megabit. So for whatever reason, this board view is incorrect in that region. Just verifying, we do have a 3476. Have I got a 3476? I have. Yep. Let's try 1v5 sus. It's a pain when you can't rely on the board views sometimes. But at least usually you got multiple points of reference, so you can always just pick another place and have another shot. Cat hair. 0.2, it's fine. Wow, 144p, that's pretty brutal going. That's fine too. After a little while you do start to get a little bit sick of doing this, but you gotta do it. 0.09. Still, 1v05 line, that's probably okay. Yeah, it's 100 ohms, it's fine. Hey Rob. Alright, so we're still chasing the mystery non-working thing. This is becoming a pain in my backside pretty quick. Let's say I've botched up something somewhere and I just need to go back and try again. I might have jumped the rail, the very rail that I was supposed to test, that would have revealed it to me. Unless, of course, as I said before, maybe there's no short actually at all and it's just simply a chip not playing the game. This is starting to become a bit of a money waste. But since I don't have a life outside of work, I guess we'll just keep on ploughing through. Yes, Travis. Yeah, well, I'd love it if I had. Someone send me a infrared camera and I'll use it. Definitely. Let's try alcoholic camera. This likely won't gain us anything, but you never know. Sometimes you can just get lucky. Does the SPR VIA have continuity to the JTAG? Yes, it does. Now, I'm not drawing a lot of current here, but I am getting surges, so if I'm lucky, I might spot something pulsing. Realistically, it's unlikely. Very unprofessional way of doing this. Consider it lazy man's hack. Greg, would that be the Seek Pro? Because yeah, that's certainly one to look at. Nah, I was just dreaming then. Wishful thinking. We're not even at the point where we're getting V-Core. Camera just pulsed. Yep, there we go, there's a heartbeat. That's where the short is. So basically the camera chip's figured. It's a very slow heartbeat, but it's there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's very obvious to me. It's about every 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah, it's and it certainly shouldn't be doing it like that. So there you go, there's your heartbeat. Hack job man's way of using infrared camera. Use alcohol and look for the heartbeat. Alright, so that's a problem because removing that chip basically kills the camera. Now it's somewhere around here. Now we know we had this inductor here. So let's say, oh, that was the one that was corroded. That's weird. They go, what? Is that really the one that I fixed? Yep, that is. So ground. Just looking to see if there's any power. Okay, see, proportionately, we're going to come in around about intersection of there and there. Okay, 1V35 cam, that'll be what it is. Now we're basing that on the fact that, so if we knew where it was coming from around about this corner here, and so I'm using that sort of alignment around there, along with that alignment there, and that pretty much brings us to there. So yeah, I'm going to go 1V35 cam. And we can see if that's true by, well, let's measure the value and see what we've got for the diode mode. So it could be that that inductor fried its guts because of the fact that it's interesting, it's only 0.24, so it's not really what I would consider a legit short. So let's see, where's 1V35? So we've got pin 46. What were you saying, 36? Yeah, I was going to say. Given that it's happening in here, my guess is the chip itself is botched. I have never replaced one of these chips. So now my question is going to be, for those of you who have replaced these chips, is it replaceable? I know they're a pain in the butt. I know they're worse than an SMC by a long shot. I'm going to remove the edge bonding. I'll give it a reflow and see what happens. This goo behaves a little bit differently. Normally by now the flux should have gotten under it and made it easy to come off, but it's given me a bit of a tricky time. Yeah, that totally didn't remove anything. Jay and Zimmy, yes. Where I am is about 14 hours ahead of New York. We are GMT plus 10. Just trying to see what generates 1V35 cam. Looks like one V35 cam is actually generated by the chip itself, it seems. That's okay, well we have to think about this then, because if that's been generated by the cam, by the chip, but then we should still see a short outside if... unless it's blown its internal MOSFET or something. Feel free to correct me if anyone knows. Where the hell's Lewis when I need him? I'm just going to probe around at some of these caps just in case one of them is shorted and it's got a indirect but has an effect on it. Yeah, it's why I'm not inclined to just jump in and replace it, because I'm wondering if there's some other bit of circuitry outside that's actually doing the deed. Okay, wonder what coil's responsible for generating that 1V35. Okay, not that one. Okay, this one here, 3902. If I remove that, and what's this 3906? If I remove 3902 and 3906, it might stop it from... it'll stop it from generating those voltages and maybe let the system boot. Okay, so let's see. This one here is for the RAM voltage, but it comes off the same... maybe not. I'll get 3902. Sorry, I know I'm talking to myself here. I need some expert advice. Oh geez, you're 3902 there. Okay, we're just going to take you off and see what happens. Hey Harntech. Basically by taking this off, it breaks the circuit for trying to generate 1V35, and I'm kind of curious then to see if it keeps shorting out. Hey Wade, what's the big sucker next to it? 3901. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, same crap. It might not be 135. It might be another one. Let's have a look. overall it's just pretty pissed off. Let's check the diode mode on those pads. .23, 0.27. It's not really anything significant either way. Now, so you try that trick. Given that we had the significant corrosion damage down by that chip... Oh, what are you doing? So remember, this was the one that was corroded out. It's a tough call. I don't know whether to try and reflow it or at least just flux and boil it. Six other pins. Yeah, I mean you can... Oh, where is this? Come on, all in. I mean you can see them all here, yeah. But you see, if it's damaged in the die around this area here, then that could be why it's shorting down to there. Let's see. Let's check 1v2 and 1v8 cam. That cap don't... Yeah, I know it doesn't. .43, that's fine. One V2, that's this big one here. Again, seems... I mean, they're a little low, but who am I to judge? So I think I'll just dump a bunch of flux under it. I don't want to reflow this too much because they do tend to be a bit sensitive, I think. Jacob, that's terrible that your Wi-Fi is that bad. I don't think we've got much chance of that, Anne-Marie. I'd like to. Very worst case scenario, we just simply have to take the chip off maybe and the person doesn't have a camera. Just see if that rinses out something. Wade, the cat's woken me up. Yep. Milo, well, I was actually passed out to be honest, but Milo apparently was right at my head and going wow, 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 and I wasn't paying any attention. But they still woke us up at unfortunately early time. I was only passed out because of the sheer lack of sleep. 286, 285. I'm going to compare to another board. It's not really going to be a good comparison because, you know, half these parts are missing. Yeah, that's a pretty big difference actually. Oh, it doesn't help that it's a complete and utter cluster stuck up like that. See if this one's any better. So we definitely have a lower value than what we should have by a reasonable margin. Interesting, that chip's actually... I'm not sure why that's done that. My guess is someone has damaged this chip. And yeah, there's a chink taken out of it there. Yeah, we're back to the heartbeat. Did that RAM chip just do it too? It's kind of weird, it changes its position. Like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's there. Hang on. This is all changing too. Jeez, what have we got ourselves into here? Okay, I think I found it. I think. No, not you. Could have sworn I saw bubbles coming up from you. Swear I saw bubbles coming up from you. And not just the ones that I'm creating like this. Yeah, free spray is not unfortunately an option. See what I mean? That cap there. And it looks like it's got a crack through the middle of it. But it measures perfectly fine. Okay, this should not actually be pulsing. I've got a wind problem here. It's not pulsing, it's the air that's making it do this. There's actually no power at all being applied here. Damn it. Damn. Thought I had that. It's just the cycling of the... yeah, just of the room. That's crazy. Just gonna turn off the air conditioner. And the fume hood. Yeah, air currents are the problem here. So, I mean, that one's definitely not an air current. That's legit. What's the point of knowing what's wrong with... I mean, what's the point of getting a heartbeat if you can't work out why? Let me practice. I practice pulling chip on another one. We'll go for the one that was really beaten up. One question I do have in my mind is, are these camera chips, are they keyed? Like, can I just switch them around, or... So I'm not using this one to put on the other board, but I do want to at least... I want to get a feel for what I'm going to be dealing with. I've got a bunch of stencils, so maybe one of them will be a match. I've got a bunch of generic stencils. And the other question is, will this chip even survive being pulled to be put back down? No, it's popcorning. See that? You see popcorning happening. So maybe a case of we need to find a way of disabling this chip entirely and the person can live with no camera. Is it sure it doesn't want to come off yet? Yeah, right. So this is going to be like a 10-minute pull. Yeah. Okay. No, I do not have a underside heater or anything like that, so I need to rethink this strategy here. Looks doable? I don't think so. But we don't even have confirmation that it really is 1v35 yet. We're just making the assumption that it is. I mean, for all we know, it could be maybe the RAMs, but yeah, I don't know. Ah, 4022, where are you? Man, I gotta get the keyboard so I can type that. Ah, I need to get an on-screen display. Or is it? What? You sure about that number? Because that's just a divider pair. That's not going to do anything. I think I'll look at my other options first before I try to take that route. Left mem chip lower. If you go to the other side of the board, you've just got this. It's just a blank, thankfully. Or better yet, to illustrate that. Just flipboard. So that's what's nothing. See, it could just as easily be the RAM at fault, this DDR chip. Because if that's... that's the trouble, we just don't have a way of directly isolating it. Hey Michael Chan. Yeah, I'm feeling a little out of my depth on this one. See what boards I've got over here. You're a completely trashed camera chip anyway. Let's see. Not you, maybe you. What are you? There we go. We've got a 3476. It's very slow, but it powers up. So this will actually potentially be a bit more of a useful reference than the other one. This is one of the boards I got off eBay a while ago, and I just simply haven't got a chassis to suit, so I can't really test anything. Pull coil inject 135 on the chip side of the coil. Unfortunately, that's not going to work, Rob, because let's see. So this 1V35 cam, even though it looks like it just goes there, there are other things that are using that, which are obviously forking off before we get to this inductor. So I've got that. That's a sense, which is fair enough. I mean, let's see. Yep, whatever that is. And then, of course, it's going off to the RAM itself with decoupling. So unfortunately, that coil is not really going to stop anything. It'd be nice if I knew how it's generating it. L3902. Let's see. Yeah, you see, that doesn't actually help, I don't think. Unless it's been generated. Let's see, phase. Where are you coming from? That just goes back into the chip too. Nope. But yeah, we have tried removing that cap anyway. I'm just going to check some diode values and see what's coming up on this board. Worst case scenario, maybe I can fix this board, put it in their chassis and then call it a day. Okay, so 0.24 is actually seemingly to be normal here. 0.24, 0.28. I'm pretty sure we had that around here. 0.236, that's good enough. 0.28, yeah, so those values are actually perfectly fine. I should check this one up here. 0.31. .31, so that's fine too. 0.24. Yeah, all those values are actually within the realm of normal so far. .12. Good thing I bought these boards. 0.13. Yep, they're all matching. Anything with the SMC? I don't know. And the SMC's over here. See, the trouble is the heat has been generated by the die, or at least we think it's being generated by the die, but we don't exactly know what is actually happening up in that section. So even though there may be a ball to 1V35 down below it, it doesn't mean that the ball, that connection, is actually where the heat's coming from. Yeah, the position of, usually it's the position of, yeah, they're comparable, but it's not a guarantee. So wash this board up a bit more, have a look. We've been haunted by red herrings here a little bit. Wild goose chasers, rabbit holes, you name it. We're suffering it. Excessive alcohol consumption coming up. I mean, it's brilliant that we even found the heartbeat to start with, but now we've got to work out what we've got to do with it. And make sure that we don't make a move that will actually be worse. I would consider taking that chip off as the very last option. And this could be like the iPhone situation where you have Q4150 or something like that, and every time you got a VCC main short on the iPhone, that thing lights up and says, "Look at me, I'm dying." But in reality, it's just an indicator that there's a fault further on down the line somewhere. Red herring is a nice little hand launch glider. I do know that hand launch glider actually. I think I got the plans for it somewhere. So I think I might have to have yet another step back and think about this one. Because I have a feeling if I jump in, pull the chip, I'd probably regret it. Eric, you know the glider that I did? You know, the Quick Flick 2? Not that I imagine people would. But it was a discus launch balsa glider. Rob, I suppose yes, we could take that route. Fair enough. You make a acceptable point. I guess if nothing else. So if we put, say, 1 volt onto that, something might come up. Fair enough, Rob. Magic and smoke. Really not in the mood for magic smoke escaping today. So if I could avoid that, that would be very nice. Thank you very much. Oop, just went blind there for a second. Not literally blind, but... yeah, that's terrible, but it will do. Oh yeah, magic smoke. Fun stuff. I still think the worst magic smoke is that which is emitted by angry tantalum capacitors. You get that little pop, the purple flash, and then a terrible toxic smell that you feel like you're going to die from. Oh, selenium. Okay, you win on the selenium. Good reason not to let your lasers break your lenses. Okay, we're going to go down to 1 volt and 1 amp just to get started. We'll only produce 1 watt, or 1.1 watt technically, but we'll see how we go. And we are drawing absolutely nothing, so there's definitely no short stuff going on in there. Absolutely zero. Well, 6 milliamp, I don't think that counts. Full screen, well, I suppose. In the end, no gain anyway, so our fault doesn't look like it's on there. So it's, in this case, maybe not the, so did I try 3906? We'll try 3906, which is the little one up the top, funnily enough. It's kind of an interesting looking chap. It's this green one. Yeah, that's the problem. We don't, isn't it now? We don't have a true short, as it were. It's more like something is upsetting the chip, but we don't know what. It doesn't seem to be the 1v2 or anything. Man, I've got to clean my tip here. It's disgusting. Just going to try this one. Hopefully without shorting out stuff. Now, let's see. Actually, it's pointless me testing that one because we already did by testing the 1v35. If you look at the schematic, you'll see why. Boy. Let's go have a look again. So something around in this area. So it's not 1v35 cam. And it's, what are you? 3906, 3900. That's funny, we've got an aliasing issue here. Oh no, DDR clock. Okay. Ah, right. Pay no attention to me. 1v8 cam maybe. Very much shooting in the dark here. .46, that's hardly reason to be upset. .28. Should start comparing to what is on here. 29, that's close enough. That's ground though. 24. 0.46. Is that what we had before? Yep, bang on. What's on the top outer edge of the chip there? Greg? Not sure which one you mean. Yeah, what about this one? .32. So I'm not even looking for absolute outright failures, I'm just looking for mismatches. Why does it look like there's more caps there? Nope, losing my mind. This is the professional method of finding shorts when you're getting too sick of everything. Wait, what? Oh, that's just a low inductance line. Ah. Greg, that's true. It could, and it could also be the junction itself. What am I talking about? It could be that it's just showing up on the silicon wafer rather than where it really is. Okay, that's done. Yeah, it's very annoying, this one. Very annoying. What else we got in this area? See, most of these are like memory access lines. Looking for something that's a little weird, maybe. So we've tested 1v8, 1v35 were good, 1v2 were good. Did we test 3v3 SR, whatever this is? Was that 3v3? This is where you really starts to get boring in life. This is the reality of the repairman's life. You have your moments of fantastic fun when everything goes your way, and then rest of the time it's this boring as heck, mind-numbing stuff. What was I trying to... Right, bottom one. Geez, can I get a better spot for that? XW. Oh, we can actually do it right there. Yeah, Rob, it's a real problem, isn't it? It's like you don't even get a chance to try and isolate things. No, nothing on that one. Get off. I'm gonna spew if it ends up being something dead set simple. I mean, I want it to be, but I'm still gonna spew. Put some solder on that. Unfortunately, the 1466 from last night, that's probably just going to be a write-off. The person doesn't look to be replacing the screen. And so now comes the fun part of me trying to acquire the machine for my own stock and parts. Downside is, of course, it's the most valuable part is no good on it, which is the screen. Nothing. Have you seen that a geomagnetic reversal might be imminent? Yeah, it's they've been talking about that for a fair few years now. And I mean, when they talk imminent, they're usually talking, it's a fair while, like tens of thousands of years, or maybe 1,000 years. We're certainly long overdue for it, that's for sure. Fortunately too, because we're running GPS systems now, it won't be quite as catastrophic. No, not that line either. Damn. Where are you hiding, you sneaky bugger? Pretty sure I did this one, but I'm gonna do it again for the sake of posterity. No. Nothing. The more we do this, the more it looks like it's internal. Stick on the bottom. The trouble with R0422, it's just a divider. It's just a voltage sense. There's just nothing to it. And it's no real. Yeah, it doesn't. make any difference for me from when I put it on the other 1V35 cam lines. That's the whole problem. This just happens to be a part sitting in the wind on the line along with all these ones, and we've already attached onto this line and tried to test it. And if, say, we did have a short at this point here, say whatever this 0.675 volt line, we've got a 1k resistance there, so even at 1 volt 35, you're barely going to see a milliamp draw through there, so it's definitely not. Yeah, Rob, I'm starting to think one of the internal MOSFETs has died. Yeah, but Prater, we've already basically put voltage into this line. This whole PP 1V35 cam line, we've tested it and nothing comes up. I do not speak French, none. So by virtue of the fact that we attached this wire onto another 1V35 place, which was somewhere around here, we effectively have been putting it on to that RAM chip position, which funnily enough is on the other side, which that's a major pain. It's going to take away that inductor and the work that we did do before. I really can't see it making a difference, but I'm doing it anyway. Including the wire. Well, we lost that wire. Where did that go? Created another short there. That would definitely cause trouble. Yay. Great, now we've got people debating whether they can speak English or French. This is where it's good to have another tech on board, and you can just throw the board, the physical board here, to another tech and say, I can't work this out, your turn. And because they approach it with a different mindset to what you do, sometimes you can unlock these things. Hey, Paula de Graca? Graca? Grasa. The latter or the former? Or I'm just being loose and fast with my definitions. I'm going to say grasa. AC is good. We're sitting at 20, well, it thinks it wants to be 23, but it's probably a bit higher than that. Same crap. We've still got our heartbeat. Yep. This is really starting to annoy me a lot. I don't want to take you off, Chip. I really don't want to take you off. Let's give it one more flux and boil. Set it down to 350. We'll go 300. Ah, man, I need some upper body finger strength here. Yeah, I'm doing the RAM chip as well, just in case. I'll also give the board a chance to warm up. So I don't know if anyone answered me before, but are these particular BCM 15700 chips coded to the camera, or are they replaceable? Steve K, when you say seepage, in what respect do you mean? I don't know how the hell anyone gets stuff off it. What the hell? I got a fan spin? Makes no sense at all. That's better. When the person said there was crackling, that should have been my indication that we were about to end on the batteries. No, it's still back to the 18. Really not sure what to think of this. I think I'll just throw it in the ultrasonic and see what the hell happens. It flashes blue only when it's just going through the power cycle. This basically the whole lot gets reset and it starts again. So I think this one needs to just... wasted far too much time on this now. Because I'm genuinely better off probably trying to find out why this one is running slow. Swap the boards over. At least then the person will have a working machine again. Because I'm extraordinarily disinclined to pull that chip. Looks like the temperature sensor on this one's been pulled off. I don't know what's going on. I'm too dumb today. Too dumb. Alright. I'm gonna head up. I've got to get some food and coffee and check on everything. It's already 3:30 in the afternoon. So I'm going to put the ultrasonic cleaner on. That's going to take 3 or 4 hours to fire up. Maybe I'll be able to finish off this stream tonight. We'll just have to wait and see. So sorry again, it was a bit of a letdown. We've had the strange internet issues today, which is fairly unusual around here. But I guess the gods and the universe are really not in the mood to deal with me today. So that's the way it goes. So thank you all for watching. I won't ask you to like or subscribe or anything like that because this is a bit of a dud one, but maybe the next one will be better. And until next time, you'll take care. I'll see you later.